voices coming through, but nothing coherent. We know you're here. I'm going to try and get your voice on my recorder.
And we're hoping that we can get some help from whoever may be here.
What the heck was that?
What was that?
Can you make any kind of knocking noise?
He was 22.
He was 22 when he
The
died.
house feels strange to you because things are being moved.
You have to tell me something about you. I'm telling you about me. Okay, and then the women that were outside waiting for us. Who likes this room up here with the beautiful views? I think it is right here.
In Stratford, Connecticut, 1639, the energies began. Homes were built, farms established, businesses started, marriages, babies, inventions to make life better. People just like us were born and died, laughed and cried, worked and played, dreamed and faced harsh realities. Wars, they married, they remarried, they combined their families, they moved around their homes, they moved around their land. Life happened. When we speak of Stratford families, immediately Sterling, Judson, Plant, Curtis, Johnson, Booth are the surnames that come to mind. The energies that were presented to us were from other families: Benjamin, Fairchild, McEwen, Bennell, Russell. 5 properties in Stratford, Connecticut were selected. We were in search of an underlying story, an untold story for each location. All the energies of the past are still present in the today, with some being stronger than others. With research, modern equipment, and a little old-fashioned mediumship, we pursued these energies. We listened to the energies speaking to us and pursued those energies in a scientific and spiritual manner. As we approached each investigation, we followed the many synchronicities presented to us, and stories began to emerge. Our eagerness to connect to the past occupants of these properties is documented in this film, and our hopes is that our eagerness will spark a renewed interest. The families of Benjamin, Fairchild, Booth, and McEwen, Bennell, and Russell helped us along.
One of our teachers from the past, Martha Crampton, taught a wonderful workshop on synchronicities. Does everybody know what synchronicities are? It's when you have a coincidence which seems to have a spiritual purpose. All my life I have been very unobservant. Now I have an opportunity to go deeper, to find the meaning of things, and I notice many things that I never noticed before. And it's amazing how different parts of your body take over when you can't see. I mean, you can feel, you can memorize, you can do all kinds of things without sight. I can still see big things, but it has been a real learning experience for me, and one which I welcome and view very much as a synchronicity.
Stratford's an interesting town and has an interesting history. As the English were inspired to settle in Massachusetts, and they went there largely for religious reasons. They'd been outcasts from England and weren't particularly welcome there anymore. And as the Boston area, as the Massachusetts Bay Colony became more and more crowded, there were people who wanted to branch out and settle other areas. And so those settlers ended up on the Connecticut River in Wethersfield and Windsor. From that group of people, as they settled that area, there were those who wanted to create a settlement. They'd heard about some favorable areas to settle along the shoreline of what is Connecticut today, and so they actually sent out an exploratory party in about 1638 to come to Stratford. And the next year, a group of about 48 individuals actually came to Stratford to settle. And most of those people stayed in a fortress area right around the Shakespeare Theater. And they built a stockade. And it really took them about 3 generations in Stratford before they moved out of that stockade and began settling other areas in what's today downtown Bridgeport and North Stratford up around the Roanoke area.
This property is well documented in historical books as the Shakespeare property. The Shakespeare Theater, in all its glory, standing as a monument to the arts that were once alive in Stratford, Connecticut. Little fanfare, however, was given to the Nichol-Benjamin house. They were the Shakespeare Theater offices. As the Shakespeare Theater burned to the ground, what we saw was the White House emerging in all its glory. We concentrated on the Nichol family since they built and lived in the White House until their deaths. It soon became clear to us that the Benjamin family energy was most prominent, and we turned our focus on this family. What we discovered in our research, spiritual and scientific, was a shock to us all. We discovered a sea captain, a capitalist, and a family who had all the wealth and fame they could want, but sorrow in everyday life.
We gotta go inside and we have to find places where we think are areas where we should set cameras up and.
Okay. Come in.
Okay. So, wanna head upstairs? Well, I'm gonna go up and we'll come down.
Okay.
Go up and come down and then. Okay.
It's here.
Yeah.
Shortness and breath.
Yes.
It kind of felt like it was trying to
Trying
stop.
to stop.
It was
Nice.
trying to stop us.
Nice stairs.
All right, so as far as pictures, I would definitely, the stairwell.
They gotta do the stairwell.
Yeah, maybe somebody fell down there. I'm not sure, but somebody was trying to stop.
Stairwell, definitely stairwell.
Yeah.
Upon entering the yellow room, as we refer to it, Nancy feels a strong energy of a decision maker. This room was added by John Benjamin, so it very well could be his office where he conducted his business.
Okay.
I feel like it was a decision maker in here, not just by looking at the walls and stuff, but I think that's where they, spent a lot of time.
I'm trying to remember reading my article.
Oh, it says staff office. I'm sorry.
Oh.
All right. You can't go in or?
No, it's okay.
Another room in one of the added wings had a sense of sorrow, dread, and waiting. It was also colder than the other rooms upstairs. This room looks over Selby Pond.
Oh, we did the Shakespeare then, because she said everything was just like kind of dumped in here and they told us we couldn't go in, but the door's wide open. So all this stuff
Let's see.
is from the theater.
Yeah, but that still doesn't, that's fine. All right, so
Was that the room?
here's the room.
Okay.
Yeah. You can feel something over here, but I don't know why, because I don't know if this was like a baby's room or something.
Nancy senses that a small inside room in the upstairs wing could have been a baby's room.
What kind of piano? Yeah. It had to, like, nursery, baby, 2 doors going in and out.
Yeah, but it was something about not, he drowned. This person
The
drowned.
person drowned,
The
okay.
person, yeah, they drowned.
Okay. All right. Good. The attic is calling me.
All right, let's do it.
You ready?
Yep.
We gotta be careful. She said there might be some loose floorboards.
I'm good. That'll be good, Phil.
Okay. Here we go. So this is definitely original home right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the floor. of the old house, really, right?
Right, this would be the whole thing. So that room that I was thinking was the baby's room.
When we get in the basement, we'll know more too. Careful, it's popping.
Yeah. Well, look at the floorboard.
Yeah.
This is old.
These are old. These are old.
Oh, look it. This might be what I was thinking.
Is that outside noise?
That's outside noise, but look, there's another. Should I try to open it? I don't know if
I don't know if we can open it.
Oh no, there's a little booby trap. I just want to see if it goes out.
Go ahead.
In the original part of the house, built around 1785 by Matthias Nichol, a ladder leading to a hatchway is discovered. As Nancy opens the hatchway, you can see out to the Housatonic River and the mouth of the river that leads to Long Island Sound.
Okay.
But this isn't the normal widow's watch that we're familiar with.
No, I don't even know. Is there one on top of the building?
But somebody's
But
watching
this is
for
how
something.
you go up. Right. Right. Because this is what it's like at, yeah.
I feel like somebody does this quite often.
And looks out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay up here.
Well, it's kind of just bringing things to
It's just-
what I've been thinking.
Yeah. Awesome. So there was no other attic, that was just it.
Right over here.
It's there for a reason.
When Jody and Nancy did the initial walkthrough, they both agreed that the main staircase holds much of the energy in the home. So we started our investigation on the staircase.
Mickey, did you live here?
I'm Mickey. Mickey, he said. Mickey.
Hi, Mickey.
We are using our spirit box, which uses radio waves and frequencies to capture verbal communications from any spirits that are present. We are also using a K2 meter. Spirits can manipulate the electromagnetic field by lighting up the meter. We are using the meter by asking spirits to light 1 light for yes and 2 lights for no.
See, we're trying to do a history of Stratford. And we're hoping that we can get some help from whoever may be here.
We also capture a thank you when Jody explains why we are in the house.
What was that?
Okay.
What was that?
A male voice in the spirit box says, Selby, and where do we go? This is our first indication that the salt pond directly in back of the White House may be connected to the people who are coming through to us in the home.
Are you Nichol-Benjamin? Or Nichol?
We later learned that John Benjamin had a faithful servant named Margaret Downey, who is listed on the U.S. Census as living in this home with 4 other servants. Could they have called her Mickey? As we investigate the other rooms in the home, we discover that Mickey is everywhere in the house.
All right, so Mickey, you're here. Should we go upstairs? Should we go into the ballroom? Yes, ballroom.
She said, yeah.
We should go in the ballroom?
Okay, we're going.
Okay.
We move the investigation to the ballroom as directed. Here we begin to get names of other spirits in the home.
Can I say some names before we say goodbye? Ann Nichols. Silas Nichols, are you here?
No.
Hawkins Nichols, are you here? No. Jonathan Nichols, are you here? You said here? What did she just say? Here was the second word.
Not here.
Jonathan Nichols. Look at this.
No.
Adele Benjamin, are you here? Yes. So Adele Benjamin, she's a child. 2 children. All right.
The K2 meter lights up one light for yes, and repeatedly lights up one light when I asked if Adele Benjamin is here.
So she's here. Adele is here, the child.
Sea Captain Delucina Pulaski Benjamin had 3 sons, Pulaski, John, and William Curtis Benjamin. William Curtis died along with his wife, Susan Curtis, while he was at sea. John Benjamin, however, was a successful stockbroker for the New York Stock Exchange and married Hannah Parkinson Benjamin, and they had 3 children, Frank Parkinson, Adele, and John Parkinson. The family wintered in New York City and summered in their gracious Greek Revival home on Elm Street. We start our second investigation in the ballroom. The house has been emptied of all its contents. It is said that when renovating or making any changes to a home, resident spirits will become more active. We are using our spirit box in our ovilus, which converts electromagnetic frequencies into words. Here we caught the dissatisfaction of the spirits through the ovilus.
Strange.
You think we're strange?
Strange
house.
family.
Family. Get this on camera. Cannot.
Removed.
They did remove. Yes.
They said remove downstairs too.
Yes.
I know they're removing things.
They did remove many things from this house.
So the house feels strange to you because things are being moved
Yes.
and removed?
They should not have removed. They removed mirrors. 2 mirrors.
Now it makes sense.
Right. Who is upset?
That things are moved.
Spring. Come.
Spring is coming. Yes, it is. Spring is coming. Who are we speaking with? Spring is coming. The house is strange now. Trees were pruned outside. And this is the first time this house has ever been investigated. So we know you don't have a lot of energy. So try and
Prayer.
Would you like us to say a prayer? Are you missing what was in this house? They moved furniture. They moved mirrors. They moved, there's lots missing from here. I know.
Like a shell.
Yeah. From when the last time we were in here. Mm-hmm.
An orb appears to come down from the ceiling between Donna and myself. Then it reappears in the upper left of the ceiling, then disappears. We are definitely not alone.
Yeah. It actually was cozier.
Yeah.
Can we move to the stairs with one of those cameras? And I'll take a camera as well.
In the order of bounce away.
There you go. I got you
Oh,
now.
sure. It depends on where you're shooting. Yeah.
I got you.
I see her.
Okay. All right, we're okay. We're all going to be
Thank
quiet.
God I'm still here.
All right.
You see me too, Rim?
Spin.
Spin? On the stairs? Wait, you guys are, I swear, this is hot.
The way she's mapped.
Do the hokey pokey.
Well, I have a chill
All right.
in me, so.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's why I did it. Okay, so I spun for you. What else do you want me to do?
But Nancy, you're mapped weird.
I know, because I feel a chill.
It's almost like she's carrying someone.
That's what I think.
You know what? It's almost like
You see
somebody is like
Within me.
yes.
Now
Yes.
that's normal.
Okay, no, that's normal. But when you go up on that step, you're not normal.
You get sideways.
I'm not normal.
Oh, now she's normal.
Nancy goes to the 4th or 5th step.
All right, so
Oh,
there it goes again.
yeah. Oh, there's 2 people there.
There's somebody in there.
There's
with her.
somebody
in
like-
the frame with you.
in the frame with you.
Standing like right next.
Right here, yes. Yeah, I can feel a chill on this side.
Our cameraman, Ray, is at the top of the stairs and feels the cold air as it passes through him.
I feel it in my arms too.
You what?
Breezes, chills,
Oh, yeah.
breezes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it in my arms.
And now I lost her. Okay. you want
Because they
to
ran
back?
up, whoever it was ran up past Ray.
Just when Ray feels a chill, a small figure appears behind him on the stairs.
Because Ray felt that there was
corner.
something in the corner.
Yeah, it was.
There was something up in the corner.
And we're not filming. Or
Yeah,
filming
she's
is
just
sitting on
got
that.
it now. Okay, so.
Oh, now you're mapped.
You're wrapped.
Okay.
But some.
Maybe I raised my voice.
Right, but
It's
no,
not you.
But it's not you. Oh,
Oh my
No,
God!
you're scared.
Oh my God! There they are.
there's 2 of them.
There they are.
Talk to them.
Talk.
Oh.
After using energy from Nancy, the spirit breaks free. The SLS camera detects spirit forms that can't be seen with the naked eye. Its sensor shows everything as dots arranged in 3D formation. These infrared dots allow the camera to show depth and detail. It sees people by recognizing a human shape based on joints and movement.
So they must be. Is this your house? You have to tell me something about you. I'm telling you about me.
Oh my God, they're touching your head. They're touching your head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right at the top of your head. And they're tap dancing their feet. Are you dancing? They're
Oh,
tapping
wow.
their feet.
I like to dance.
Touching my head. a
They're
little bit.
dancing.
Are they touching?
dancing?
A little bit there.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Do you want Nancy to spin again?
Maybe you want someone to dance with.
You have to talk to us through this.
This entity
Wants to dance with you. This. Wanted this.
Wanted this? He wants to
He
dance.
wants this.
Do this.
Oh, he wants this.
Yes, he wants you to dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you? How?
You're gonna have to do a waltz.
I'm here.
There you go, do that.
Is he dancing with me?
He's holding on.
holding on to you.
Oh boy.
Oh my God, he's dancing with you.
Very nice. Do you like this?
Oh my God.
Okay, so now
I
I'll
hate
go
to
with
tell you, but I think he's nuzzling your neck.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris won't
Right?
like that.
He's got his head up. Kind of like when you put your head on somebody's shoulder, that's what it looks like.
This is definitely recording, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's good.
All right, he
All right,
left.
now he left. Why the stairs?
I don't know, but I told you when I was walking up the stairs the very first time with Jody, I said there's something in this area.
So that, whatever that is, oh no, it's back. It's back. Oh, okay. It's right next to you. You're mapped and that other, that's amazing. We can't just, it's just like crazy.
All right, so.
Like it's crawling right out of her.
This figure seems to be full of fun, wants to dance, and overall loves Nancy's presence. Could this be our Captain Pincus-Benjamin? He was a fun-loving, crusty old sea captain who, as described in his obituary, was well and vigorous up to the last day of his life. We documented lots of activity in the Yellow Room. This room was added on by the Benjamins.
Okay. Is there anyone who would just
I think
like to
that's Raymond,
communicate?
though, that we're
Would
mapping
somebody
over
like
there.
to talk to us?
Yeah, that's Raymond sitting in the chair, right? Yeah, Raymond,
move.
move.
And move away. And just see what happens.
No, it's not Raymond.
Oh my God,
There's a
little
small child with you.
No,
Oh, no, that's Raymond.
Wait.
All right, Raymond, you
Are
can
you
go back where
looking
you
for
were
your
if you want.
father?
It's just that we wanted to make sure it wasn't you. In the,
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I just got the chills.
Small child.
Yes.
It's almost like it's a baby.
Yeah, it's small. It's small.
And I have no way of talking to you unless you talk back. Can you talk? Can you try to pull some energy? Speak to us?
It is possible this small figure is John Benjamin's son, John Parkinson, who died at age 1 year 7 months from water on the brain. He most likely could not walk because of his injury. Did he hit his head somehow on the 4th or 5th step of the main stairway?
You just sit there and
Yeah,
they sit
you
there.
move around.
It is sitting, yeah. We go back to the yellow room one more time to see if we can capture the same child again.
Come on, honey. You know you can do it. Let's go. Come on. You're really, really strong. You have a lot of stuff in here to grab energy from. Just show yourself one more
Yep, there
time.
it is. There, oh, yep, she showed and gone.
Try again. One more time.
Child's here. Look at that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Child's back.
Thank you for coming. So, okay. So, are you still sitting in the chair?
No, left.
Can you come back, please? No? Don't want to come back. I have a recorder that...
Child is back.
Oh, hi!
Sitting on the chair.
Hi! How are you? Okay, really quick. Can you wiggle your toes for me? Can you see its toes? Do you see toes?
Yes, mm-hmm.
Can you wiggle your toes up and down and up and down?
Yeah, he's wiggling.
Awesome! Thank you.
Child gone.
I got wiggly toes.
You did. You got wiggly toes. You did. All right.
I think we're going to be done and we're going to say goodbye. But thank you. Thank you for letting us share your home.
We captured the same child in the yellow room 2 separate times, one with Jody and one with Cindy. The child appears to be sitting and not standing upright, so we conclude that it is a small child not yet walking. The figure with Cindy appears to be having a hard time standing and is small. Could this be John Parkinson, who could not walk because of the hydrocephalus? John Benjamin's son, who died from hydrocephalus, most likely from a violent fall on the stairs. The figure with Jody appears to be a bit larger. Could this be Adele? The truth is, the Benjamin family suffered great tragedy along with great fortune, much of which was experienced in the White House on Elm Street. Captain Pulaski lost his wife and young son while he was away at sea. His son, John Benjamin, had 3 children, his only grandchildren. John died from a head injury, possibly a fall on the main staircase in the White House. Frank died in Colorado, possibly from a drowning or some sort of accident. And Adele was obviously the apple of his eye. A letter was discovered written by John Benjamin expressing his grief over the loss of Adele, all the while doing business. Adele died from a highly contagious disease in New York City. Her body was transported to Stratford, and her funeral was held at the Episcopal Church. Captain Pulaski, upon retirement, ferried a cutter up and down the Housatonic River. The cutter was named Adele. Upon his death, the cutter was scuttled in Selby Pond. Why? Adele was possibly waked in the White House. Was she waked in the basement? There could not have been a viewing as she was contagious. She is documented as being buried in 2 cemeteries, but a body cannot be located in either. Selby's Pond is a glacial pond behind the White House on the Shakespeare property. It is a salt pond that was used by the early settlers to prepare flax. It is basically the same as it was when the settlers arrived here over 382 years ago. We set out to find some answers. We droned the pond as well as took some underwater pictures. We used a 360-degree horizontal underwater camera to accomplish this. We found what may be the top of the mast. Was Adele buried in Selby Pond? Is that why the cutter Adele was scuttled in Selby Pond? Definitive answers to this will never be known. Adele and John are upstairs playing, and Captain Pulaski is dancing on the stairs of this magnificent ancient home.
This is a hill. We're above that.
Today is August 6th. It's about a little after noontime right now. The trolley left Bridgeport at 2:30. On its way through Stratford to pick up more passengers, coming this way, across the river road into Shelton. We're going to be here at the exact time it happened. 120 years to the day.
So in 1897, there was a lot of activity in the North End to try and have the trolleys extended clear up past Booth Park and beyond into Shelton ultimately. Well, the Booth brothers heard about the trolley cutting through their property. They were essentially going to have parts of their property taken from them by eminent domain, and they worked with the trolley company to reroute the trolley tracks, and they ended up getting rerouted over Peck's Mill Pond.
Laying the dead on the grass mound at the Peck homestead. Well, this had to be the grass mound that we're on. Yeah, look, there's the hill. This is where we are. We're here.
And what is this square?
That could be the Peck's. That's it. That could be the Peck's farm. So that was up here somewhere. On the property, we discovered boulders that had markings consistent with blasting and remnants of the trestles. Could these rocks have been used to form the trestles for the trolley? Peck's Mill Pond became a park in a rather tragic way. A trolley rail was constructed over the pond, and it jumped the track one beautiful August afternoon in 1899. Shortly before 4 p.m., a loaded trolley turned on its roof and fell 37 feet onto the mud below as the pond had been drained, crushing and pushing people down into the mucky pond with its heavy undercarriage and engines. It is said that 50 people were on this trolley. No one knows for sure as the indicator went missing. The injured were taken to the hospital, and the dead were dragged up the bank of the pond and laid out on the grass.
There were many problems with the trolley running over Peck's Mill Pond because the engineer of the trolley really thought there had been a rush job on putting the trolley tracks together. And there were reports that nuts weren't put on bolts that were used to fasten the trolley rails to the ties underneath. The other problem was the pond had been drained, so it was dry. When the car fell off the track, it landed on the top, and of course some of the passengers fell out and were crushed underneath the trolley car.
By 5:50 p.m., roughly 2 hours after the accident, backup trolley cars were driving over the pond. How was this cleared in this short of time? Our question is, are there still people in the mud that were pushed so far down by the weight of the trolley and are still in the mucky bed of the pond? We returned to see if we could capture any more entities or spirits that were left behind. John!
John!
Oh my God.
John!
We asked who was with us, and John came through the spirit box. John!
Yeah, I heard John.
John!
Okay, John.
Somebody's trying to come through, like big time. How old are you, John?
What? 20.
He was 22.
He was 22 when he died.
Oh.
Some of those people have expressed the opinion that they felt very strong paranormal vibrations coming from Pecksnill Pond due to the people that were killed there.
This is really active, because we had this on the other day, and nothing was coming through.
Right.
The airwaves are clearer at night. To our surprise, the SLS caught something so horrific, we were all in shock.
What's that? What do you see, Gina? Raymond.
It was Raymond.
Oh my God. No, it wasn't Raymond, because I just saw it.
Oh my God, there's somebody here.
All right, so where are you aiming at?
Right here.
Wherever it was
Right here.
dancing.
All right, say so.
Here it is. So we see you here.
I see you.
All right, so he's. Wait, that's backwards, right?
Yes.
All right, so it's standing right there.
It's right here, standing right next to us. And
Looks like they're trying to get out of something.
yeah,
Like trying to climb out.
of Yep. Yep, there it is. There he is.
Doesn't it look like he's stuck? He's trying to get.
Yes.
Yes. Get free.
Like he's almost like laying down, like let me out of here, let me out of here.
Trying to push. Look at his leg, how it's bent.
Yeah. You getting creeped?
Well, you got to be careful now because it's getting dark.
Oh, he's back. Oh, there's two. There's two.
All right,
We've got two people.
Maybe that's not a good idea.
We've got two people. All right, we're going to stop snapping. Yeah.
I'm going to stop because I'm not getting anything.
Yeah. All right. Look at this. He's back. He or she is back. Who is this?
Is that more than one person? Maybe somebody's on top of one another? Kind of looks like that, doesn't it?
Up, go on. Up, back.
It really looks like they're fighting to get free of something.
Looks very hysterical, doesn't it?
Yeah, chaotic.
Yeah.
And
Because they're usually not hysterical like that.
no, this is like tortured.
Yeah. All right, we're coming back. Here you are. It's one person.
No, I see.
It's one person. Oh, there's the other one. Yeah. Little. Small. Oh.
I told you it was two because it was meshed into, you know, if they stand next to one another.
No, that's one there. Go on.
There were those who thought then and since that there were people that were never found that had been crushed further into the mud and they never found them. It would be hard to ever confirm or deny because no passenger list was kept. We had no way to know who was on the trolley, who was supposed to be on the trolley, and so an accounting of who was actually killed could only be taken by actually picking up the bodies that they did find and counting those.
We feel strongly that the spirits are not able to leave because of their untimely demise. One witness to the accident observed that before the trolley jumped the track, the passengers were singing and laughing. Are there still some passengers left behind? We have immortalized them in film. We acknowledge their existence and the price they paid that warm August afternoon. Maybe we will never know, or maybe someday we will.
So, Gina, why do you feel the connection with the Fairchilds?
The first time I came in this cemetery, I was drawn to this plot, and then their name came up in our investigations, but then when we were investigating the Perry house, we were told that
Oh, right.
The
library.
Baldwin Center was where the Fairchild Homestead used to be.
Right.
So they lost their homestead. The Perry House is still here. The Sterling House is still here. Abijah McEwen's house is still here. But the Fairchilds lost their homestead. They tore it down.
Right.
I want to know if that's why they feel that they've been
Stepped upon.
We started with the Perry House, not really knowing what to expect as so many families moved through this home. We decided it was a good place to start as we were searching for the homestead of the Fairchild family.
So in the early 1600s, mid 1600s, there were lots that were up. There was a lottery to purchase the lots in the town of Stratford. And a gentleman by the name of Benjamin Beach won the lottery for lot number 10, which is where the Perry House stands now. And that was in 1693 when Benjamin Beach built the house. It was 4 rooms. There was an east parlor, the west parlor, and then there were 2 chambers upstairs. And it actually had a thatched roof when it was originally built. And then Benjamin Beach lived here for several years. And then in the mid 1700s, it was purchased by a gentleman by the name of Isaiah Brown, about 1743, 1745. And Isaiah Brown was a blacksmith. He lived here with his family for a number of years. And then when he lived here, he added on the room in the back, which is called the keeping room. And he added that room, and then the appearance of the house changed to become more of a salt box appearance. And it's our understanding that the newer homes that were being built in Stratford at that time were that style of house. So then it became a salt box. And then several years later, one of his children, who was also carried on with being a blacksmith, added on this room that we're in right now, which is the office, and the blacksmith shop became here. And then several people owned the house after Isaiah Brown. And then in about 1853, William Perry actually purchased the house. He was a grocer, he was a cobbler, and a probate judge. And he used to actually make shoes for the Federation Army. And him and his family lived here for a number of years. I think overall, maybe 30 plus years they lived here. So the house became the town of Stratford. And then in 2003, I think is when the foundation was formed, the Perry House Foundation. But prior to that, there was a lot of talk about what was going to happen with the property. They wanted to knock this house down and expand the Baldwin Senior Center, which is right next door to us, for parking. And then there were a lot of people that were involved with it that said, no, absolutely not. This is like a historic home. We need to preserve it. I think it was the early 1990s when all of this started to take place, maybe around 1993, 1994, where there was a committee was formed to actually preserve the house and save the house. And then it did actually go on to the historic registry of older homes. And the house was preserved because of this committee and speaking out and sharing the value of this historic home. The reason why it was decided to be called the Perry House instead of the Beach House, who was the original owner, is at the time all of this was going on and we were trying to preserve the house, and then they started the renovations, etc. There were still Perry descendants living in the town of Stratford. So it was decided, because there was such a long history of Perrys in the town, and they were still alive at that time and living in Stratford, that it would be called the Perry House, the William Perry House.
We set up our equipment and set out to find where the hot spots were in the home.
Can you make any kind of knocking noise or come through that speaker and communicate in any way?
Speaker. Sounded like they just said speaker.
Right.
Yeah, this is crazy. No one's been here with these before.
Yeah.
Could you guys make that out? We're going to move on to a different room. We'll see you in the keeping room.
We move on from the front parlor to the keeping room. We capture a woman's voice on the spirit box saying hello.
That was a female voice, but I couldn't make that out.
We capture many female voices. The house seems to have layers of energy over hundreds of years of inhabitants.
Okay, so we hear a female, but you're not coming through enough.
We move back to the front parlor where we capture more voices on the spirit box.
Come in this room, in the parlor.
Do you enjoy when they have host parties here?
What did you say? Something? Sometimes. Sometimes? That's what it sounded like.
Is anybody here?
A female voice on the spirit box says Myrtis. We move upstairs to one of the front rooms in the house. We all felt a sense of peacefulness.
What's your name? Who likes this room up here with the beautiful views?
We get a male and female voice to answer us on the spirit box.
How many people live here?
While Carrie and Cindy are experiencing activity in this front room, I call to them to come to the center room where I have captured figures on the SLS camera.
Gotta go around, get in that room. Raymond, I need a camera on this. There they are. Sitting in the chairs.
Our SLS camera picks up two entities, both sitting in the chairs beside the spinning wheel.
We just want to say hello to you.
They're sitting in the chairs.
Are you women? Can you talk to me?
All right, go behind the spinning wheel. Okay, what we saw on this was two people sitting in the chairs with the pink draping.
Is this the male and female that have been communicating with us throughout the house?
Can you talk to us? Do you have something to say to us?
We are astounded at the communication we are having with the male and female that are present in this home. It is like they are ready to talk.
Okay, we're here by the spinning wheel. I'm Gina. Are you still here?
At the exact moment I introduce myself, a male voice comes through the spirit box, and an orb appears behind me.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us? We just heard a woman's voice. Can you tell us who you are? I think someone's trying to talk to us tonight.
I have a big show. And I'm not cold. I'm not cold at all.
I feel like something's here today.
We hear very clear on the spirit box, "I am Henry," in the spinning wheel room.
Did you say Henry? I feel like somebody's here.
We bring out the SLS camera again, and Carrie feels something behind her. We capture a figure behind her.
Oh.
No, there is. There's a person here.
Yes, there is.
Carrie, don't move.
I'm not moving. I can feel them.
That's because there they are. Look at.
Feel them right behind me?
Yes.
Yes, I can feel them.
Oh my God.
I can totally feel them right behind me.
Okay, we're back. We're online.
Do we see any?
We're waiting to map
Behind
you.
me?
Okay, we got
Okay,
you.
we got you. Up.
Oh, yep,
I see somebody.
yep.
To my left.
Oh, that's Raymond.
Oh,
Oh,
Wave
gee.
your hand, Ray. Yep, it's you.
Oh, it's Raymond.
this is me.
Sorry, didn't mean to sound disappointed.
Actually, it's not Raymond. It's up in the air. Look.
oh, it's
Cindy.
climbing
Oh
up.
my God, it's climbing the ceiling.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know
See,
if
I
I
could.
like
This is not a child. This is not a child. This person is up in the air.
Up there.
Cindy. The large figure upstairs is pointing toward the Baldwin Center or the Curtis House, which is now the Pisty Funeral Home. Could this be Myrtis Fairchild? It has been long known that a spirit goes between the Pisty Funeral Home and the Perry House. Is this spirit Myrtis looking for her homestead? We have the names Henry and Myrtis. It is known that Edward Lamson Henry, a well-known colonial American painter, visited the Perry House frequently. We do, however, find a Myrtis who is very connected to this home, Myrtis Virginia Fairchild. Myrtis Fairchild out for her daily drive with her dog Max and her horse Bess. We feel this is the only known picture of the Fairchild homestead. These are pictures of Myrtis Fairchild and her dog Jerry at the cemetery entrance to the Fairchild family burial plot in the old Congregational Burial Ground. When we first entered the burial ground, I was drawn to the Fairchild plot. We believe it is Myrtis who is using our energy to tell her story, a story of sadness and loss. Although called the Perry House, the Fairchilds occupied the house from 1893, when Benjamin T. Fairchild bought the home, to 1956, when the last of the Fairchilds to occupy the homestead, his sister, Myrtis Fairchild, passed away. In 1893, Benjamin Thomas Fairchild bought the Perry House. The Perry House was to house his coachman, Mr. Moon, and several servants. Benjamin Fairchild died on March 26, 1939, from injuries he suffered in a fall in his home in Greenwich. His estate was probated and settled in 1946. In his last will and testament, Benjamin Fairchild directed his nephew purchase the Perry House and the Fairchild homestead from the estate and give his sister, Myrtis, life use of both properties. In 1954, Myrtis quit claims her life use of the Perry House over to her friend Jessie Wheeler Murphy for $1. 3 days later, Benjamin Tappan Fairchild, the nephew that purchased the home as directed by his uncle's last will and testament, quit claims the Perry House to Jessie Wheeler Murphy for $1. In October 1955, Myrtis quit claims her life use of the Fairchild homestead to her nephew Benjamin Tappan Fairchild. 5 months later, one spring day in March of 1956, Myrtis is removed from the homestead and taken to Fairfield Hills Psychiatric Hospital in Newtown, Connecticut, where she dies 17 days later. Her death certificate lists her father and mother as unknown and their birthplaces unknown. How can this be? Myrtis had a living nephew, Benjamin Tappan Fairchild, who 5 months earlier she relinquished her life use of the homestead to. Myrtis was a direct descendant of the original Fairchild family who settled in Stratford in 1639. Benjamin Tappan Fairchild ran the home as a boarding house after her death until his death 1 year later in 1957. How it came into the hands of David Masnick and Alvin Burt is not clear. Between September of 1957 and May of 1959, the Fairchild homestead is gone. Developers are planning a hotel near the property. The Ecclesiastical Society of Stratford purchases the Fairchild homestead in 1959. The large figure was pointing towards this property on the SLS camera. As we felt from our visit to the adjoining cemetery, the Fairchilds are feeling left out and ignored in the history of these properties and are coming forward for us to acknowledge their home. The Perry house is still here. The Sterling house is still here. Abijah McEwen's house is still here, but the Fairchilds lost their homestead. They tore it down. In 1907, Benjamin Fairchild, Rufus Spinell, and John W. Sterling built the stone wall around the cemetery with their own private entrances. The Fairchilds were very active in preserving the Sterling block. When Cordelia Sterling passed in 1931, her will named her sister, 2 nephews, and Judge Howard Curtis, all who lived on the property, were to plan for the Sterling block and a community center. Benjamin Fairchild was not named along with his neighbors. The Judge Curtis home still stands. The home that Sterling Bennell moved into still stands, which is the Abijah McEwen homestead. Sterling House still stands. The Perry house, his coachman's house, is still standing. The Fairchild homestead, demolished. We came upon this house when we picked up the energy of Abijah McEwen in the old burial ground. We researched his name and this house emerged. After numerous phone calls to the counseling center located at the home and a few times knocking on the door, one afternoon as I was driving by, I noticed a man in the yard. He directed me to the homeowner, Cynthia Pincus-Russell.
Well, I'm a psychotherapist. I inherited the house from my grandparents in 1968, and I opened my practice here in 1978. And I've enjoyed being in Stratford very much ever since. I spent a lot of my childhood in this house. I was extremely close to my grandparents, and I was so close to them that I was here a great deal. I love Stratford and I love spending time with them.
John Beers was the first of the early Stratford settlers to build on this property in 1676. His home was torn down in 1756 by Abraham Tomlinson. Abijah McEwen married Tomlinson's daughter Katie, and in 1790 built the home at 2225 Main Street that is still standing today. It is believed to be the best example of late Georgian architecture in Connecticut. The home is 233 years old. The home remained in the McEwen family for over 120 years until it was given to Ava Cranston in 1909 by the wife of the late Dr. Robert McEwen. Ava Cranston was running a boarding house in the home from 1909 until her death in 1930. Sterling Haight Bennell moved quickly to purchase the home, but there was a problem. It was discovered by the probate judge that the McEwens through the years never probated their individual estates. Before Sterling could purchase the home, a notice had to be published in the newspaper asking any McEwen heirs to come forward. No one did, and Sterling Bennell was awarded the home for $1 in 1931. He saved the home.
They purchased the house, and they said it was in terrible condition, and there was a family living in every room because it was the height of the Depression. So they said it was very inexpensive. My grandfather, Sterling Bennell, was a civil engineer, and he restored the house. He did all the restoration. My grandmother was a decorator years before most women could work at any kind of career, so she assembled all the antiques.
Mrs. Jerusha McEwen, Abijah McEwen's second wife and cousin to his first wife, ran a general store located between the Sterling house and the McEwen house. Before becoming a general store, this building held prayer meetings for the Congregationalists. Jerusha McEwen lived in this mansion until her death in 1839.
The only thing I know is that there was a store between the music room and Sterling House. And they moved that store onto the music room to make the larger music room that we have today. That's the only thing I heard about that.
We were astonished at this historical find attached to the home. Hagar Merriman was a slave girl who was bought by Mrs. Ezekiel Lovejoy at age 9 months along with her mother. Mrs. Lovejoy ran the Lovejoy Tavern that was just across the street from the homestead. In her memoir, Hagar describes a country store kept by Mrs. McEwen.
I never heard that story. It's fascinating. I know it's a part of the music room. That's all I would know. They moved it over because the dimensions were perfect. When you spend time here, it's just absolutely delightful. And my students all tell me the same thing.
We believe through synchronicities and mediumship, Abijah McEwen is asking us to once again save this house. It is so unusual to have only 3 families own a house over 233 years. It is also unusual that a book has been written documenting how someone felt living in this home.
When I was in the other room, somebody was doing some mediumship. Who was that?
Mediumship.
About my grandfather.
Cynthia, do you feel your grandfather here? When you
I
sit
feel
on that
them all
couch?
here. I feel them all here.
They're all here.
Yeah.
And who would that be? That would be grandfather.
Well, I'm thinking primarily of my great uncle who was in the upstairs bedroom between wives. One of his wives died until he remarried.
And who was that?
Frank Bonnell. And my grandfather and my grandmother. I have to take a deep breath because if you've seen Downton Abbey, that's what this house was like. It was so British and so historic. Everything was by the book. Coffee in the drawing room after dinner. Servants waiting on table. Everything so proper, so formal. It was like another world.
Booth Park is known for its park-like grounds and unusual outbuildings. It has a solid history in the town of Stratford. We did not feel any energy coming from the outbuildings. We were drawn to the main home on the property.
Richard Booth came from England in 1663, and I'm afraid I don't know the whole genealogy, but in the 1800s, Betsy Nichols married David Booth, and they had 2 children, David and Stephen. David and Stephen passed away in the late 1940s and had no heirs, and so they left this park, which is 32 acres, and all the buildings on it to the town of Stratford. Their family lived here continuously from 1663 till the last one died in 1949. We believe we know where part of the original foundation of the homestead is. It's under the parlor here. There's some like brick and stones that we think were part of the original foundation.
This segment will be the investigation only. We will present our evidence to you, evidence of a family that began in this home and is still present today. The investigation starts in the billiard room of the main house.
Something's here, so something's drawing and wants to talk to us, so it's trying to gather energy with all our equipment.
Jody heard breathing near the back stairwell that leads to Betsy's room and the nursery. It has been known that Richard Booth appears in this area.
The breathing, you said was there or the back hallway?
The breathing sounded like it was coming from that direction, so it could have been the stairwell.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's sit on the stairwell. We go to this staircase and do an EVP, electronic voice phenomena session. I'm going to try and do an EVP in here. Is there anyone here that would like to speak with us? Is there anyone here that would like to speak with us?
What's that bang?
Okay, we have
All
friends
right.
upstairs. I have this going.
Betsy, is that you?
Betsy,
Yeah.
is that you?
We hear a banging from the upstairs bedroom, Betsy's bedroom.
Whoever banged upstairs, can you bang again?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
We notice the clocks are chiming every time we connect in some way with spirit. They seem to be using the clocks as communication. We go up to the bedroom and do an EVP session, but we get nothing. We move on to the staircase in the billiard room. Jody is at the bottom of the stairs, and I go into the office at the top of the staircase to see if Stephen Booth is present. Stephen Booth, I know you're up here. This is where you worked, isn't it? Say hi.
But you probably did it the wrong way.
Okay, yeah, okay.
All right, hold on. Hold on.
Is that the REM pod?
Yeah. Is that thing going off?
Okay, he's here. The REM pod, or radiating electromagneticity pod, emits electromagnetic waves from a small antenna and reacts to disturbances. It will make a high or low pitch sound when it detects a sudden change in the air temperature. Stephen, is that you that set off the REM pod?
That was going off before, and I thought that was Gina's recorder.
Stephen, is that you that set off the REM pod?
Yes.
Wow.
So Stephen, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Wow. It's
Thank
Stephen
you.
Booth.
So Stephen, it's nice to meet you. And we're just here. We just thought we would talk to you and get to know you in your story. We want to just tell the world about you. Can you light up my thing one more time to let us know you're still here? What was that?
That was Gina with her recorder upstairs.
Was it? Thank you. Okay. What is she doing?
She said, Stephen, please talk.
Oh.
In a quiet place.
Every time I ask it, that thing goes off.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay up here and ask questions. Did he just light that up?
Yes.
I asked him to. Stephen, thank you so much.
There's something, yeah. I mean, they connect with certain people, and he's connected to you, so.
Stephen, I'm going to try and get your voice. We know you're here. I'm going to try and get your voice on my recorder. Stephen, please talk to us and look at that. So I can't get your voice on the recorder? Jody, oh my God.
My recorder's going, Gina.
Wow. All right, so we know Stephen is here. We know Stephen Booth is here. Stephen is the one that lived in that house, the other house, right?
Mary divorced and came back here.
Stephen.
Yes.
Or was it
Stephen!
Stephen?
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Is there someone here?
Oh, we got him back.
He's back. Jody reacts to something, and at that moment, a figure appears next to her on the SLS.
Where is he?
He's back. He's over by, unless I'm picking up Raymond.
You might be picking up Raymond.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. So he's opposite.
So he's over
He's
here. Over there.
He's here. Actually, he's right next to you.
And he's like, he's doing this. It's like he's stamping his foot, like impatient.
Yes.
Look, see that?
Yep, I got it. The clocks go off again.
Are you tapping your foot? Still there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
We conduct a spirit box session.
Stephen, are you here? Maybe we'll move to a different room.
What did that say? Leave. It sounded like leave.
Leave. Well, maybe we'll leave this room and we'll go into another room. So, whoever was talking to us, thank you.
A voice on the spirit box asks us to leave, so we go into the dining room.
Is that the pantry?
Yeah, that's an awesome pantry.
Oh.
That could be the pantry. There was definitely an energy in the dining room as all lights on our meter are lighting up.
How many people are in this room right now? Can you tell me that?
Seven.
Thank you.
Thank you. The cameraman, 5 team members, and of course David or Stephen make 7 people in the room.
Betsy, are you here? Betsy, were you talking to me out in the other room? She's talking to me.
Bessie. Yes. Yes.
But I can't make out what she's talking about from room to room. Betsy, is Richard in your way of speaking to us?
Yes.
Thank you, Betsy. Betsy, is there anything you want to tell us? Richard, leave her alone. Richard, go back to your office. We're just gonna have a woman sit down.
That was a woman.
That was the woman.
That was a woman.
You guys don't want to light up my machine, huh? Okay.
Did you just shut that off?
The stairs. They're at the stairs. They're at the freaking stairs.
Yeah.
The red pod's going off.
Jody asked Richard to go back to the office.
Richard, go back to your office.
He did.
Yeah.
You what?
He's sitting on it. Yeah. Get off of it. Get off of it. Oh my God, it's like a laser light show.
You can see a small orb or light hovering over the REM pod.
Thank you. Can you stop? Can you stop? Thank you. Can you just stop altogether? Stop. Are we picking which color we want to light? Just stop. Please stop. And I'll leave the room. Thank you.
This is a gem for the town of Stratford. There's nothing like this anywhere. And when people from other states visit, they're just amazed. All the really unique buildings we have here, the Technocratic Cathedral, and we are having an Eagle Scout work on redoing the mineral exhibit there. We have the clock tower, we have the blacksmith shop. We have the garages, we have a carriage barn that has old carriages in it. We have the Americana barn where we weave rugs, and that's part of the school program where the kids actually are weaving rugs. It's just a gem. I would love it if eventually the Stephen Booth house could be redone, because it really is a very nice house inside, very unique, and really unique details architecturally. It's a great place. I love it here. It's wonderful.
We have no story from the past. The story is in the present. The Booth family is still here. They are all still here. It is our hope that we have sparked a renewed interest in the 5 properties in this documentary, and that it will lead to a whole new era for each one of them. There are still many more stories to be told through research, scientific equipment, mediumship, and of course, synchronicities.